Unbrickin' believable.
Hey everyone, Nick Brick here with another unbrickin' believable LEGO build. The Hell Priest kept this relic of the Doomslayer's past hidden from him. Smart call. Here's the LEGO Super Shotgun from Doom Eternal. The Super Shotgun has working features including a moving trigger and working break action with loadable LEGO shotgun shells. The scale of this build was decided by the cylinders used on the barrels and designed from there. Measuring over 25 inches long with the meathook, 7 inches tall, 6 inches wide, and containing an estimated 2,000 LEGO pieces. As always, here's a banana for scale. What would you like to see built with LEGO? Comment your build ideas down below. Lots of suggestions for the Super Shotgun, and it's something I wanted too. I think the Super Shotgun is my most detailed LEGO replica yet. From the gold on the meathook prongs, to the engravings going down the barrel, and even the wrapped grip. There's a lot to show here. Let's get into the details, the design process, and the interesting pieces used on the Doomslayer's boomstick. Starting with the barrels. The muzzle of each barrel is made with only 5 pieces. We have a 5-stud diameter cylinder with 2 Technic pins with a stud. Those attach a smaller 4-stud diameter cylinder, and inside that is a 3-stud diameter Technic dish. 5 parts, huge effect. Between the barrels is the mark of the Doomslayer, just like in game. Ever notice that? It's the last thing some demons notice. Along the barrels are the first details I designed. Various runes and engravings were made using all kinds of silver bits. Throwing stars still on the sprues, vent tiles, Wolverine claws, and swords make up the details here. Under the barrels is the wooden handguard, built with 2 shades of brown to create the grain. Not a lot of handguard here because we have the feature you all know and love, which is, of course, the meathook. Gold pieces are hard to work with, but I think I got the shape of the prongs down pretty well. Lots of great slope pieces here, like these wedges at the tips, and these complex slopes that taper the blades. Underneath, we have the housing with complex angling going on here, plus a hint of the meathook chain itself. Small detail, but the worm gears that assist in winding the hook were a neat thing I noticed in my research of the build. The meathook is what truly makes this Super Shotgun unique, so it's probably the most worked and reworked non-functional part of the build. Now for the most worked and reworked functional part of the build, and that is the break action. Oh man, this was a lot. The hinge had to take the massive weight of the barrels while at the same time not explode any part of this into a million pieces. So these hinges were used, as well as ball and socket joints as the lock. Using Technic and brackets and lots of straining my abilities, we have stable enough break action. Sweet! Although I'm convinced the Doomslayer Super Shotgun has a broken lock and he just holds the shotgun closed. I'll pretend it's that. Sounds badass. Anyway, the LEGO shells are huge, just like in Doom Eternal. Luckily these arch pieces are just the right width to clear them. I couldn't see building this with shells any smaller than this. Notice when I load the shells that the rims stick out. I compensated for that in the hinge design. The whole grip section is offset by half a brick. 1 for clearance of the hinge motion, and 2 for clearance of the shell rims. Exact clearance. I planned that. Really, I did. Finally, the grip and trigger sections. Think this is a big enough trigger guard for Doomslayer fingers? Lots of space in there. For the grip, I'm just glad the step structure technique works as the wrapped grip of the in-game shotgun. To make it more interesting, a few wraps were made uneven, with cutout curves and quarter circle tiles. So much detail is built into this massive shotgun build, and I'm really happy with what I could do with some unusual pieces for a LEGO gun build. So, what details stood out to you? Presentation is as important as the build itself, and I went all out on the presentation of the Super Shotgun. Things like an entirely brick-built Doom logo, a shotgun ammo pickup from Doom Eternal with 10 spare shells, and even the display stand itself is its own creation. Did you notice detail in the stand earlier? The full original heads-up display from Doom is made out of LEGO and hides in plain sight on the display stand. Ammo, health, weapon, armor, keycard, and reserve readouts. And of course, Doom Guy himself. What a cutie. This build took a long time to finish. If you've been following my builds for a while, you probably noticed this. This build was started back in June 2021 and finished in February 2023. That's 20 months. Months. Everything I made in that time frame, from the car SMG to the Akimbo 50 GS, was created while I put the super shotgun to the side. But why? Well, to be honest, I was striving for perfection when simply finishing should have been my goal all along. This was the hardest build I've ever worked on, and I pressured myself to make this build exactly right. Until January 2023 came up, and I finally made that decision to just finish the build instead of getting hung up on every little detail. This is not a perfect LEGO replica. There are places in here that I can see that I could have made it better. And that's okay. Because really, I'm more proud to hold this completed model in my hands than I am with holding a half-completed model that sits on my shelf for months. Subscribe for more unbrick and believable LEGO builds. Also, like, comment, and share with a Doom fan if you enjoyed the LEGO Super Shotgun from Doom Eternal. Hopefully more Doom creations to come, but for now, check out the Doom/Wolfenstein playlist. Thank you for watching. Comment your build ideas, and I'll see you in the next one. Nick Brick out. Pew, pew. Okay, it doesn't shoot that fast, but whatever.